This is kind of uncharted territory for you. You obviously, won so much the last, 2 years here. So when you're coming off a game like this, is it how do you kind of deal with it? Did you go over things in your head? Things could have been different, or do you consciously try to put it behind you and move on, or how are you and the guys handling it?
It's hard to try to look past it, knowing that we had so much success. I had to deal with this in high school, so I pretty much just tell the players that they have to go to the next play. We have to take every day like we did before. We can't dwell on the past, and we can't wish that we did things differently. That's just something that you have to learn. I think we're handling it well. We practice hard, so I think we'll be ready for the next game.
The 2 and 3 weeks with both these losses, the Pitt loss and the Cincinnati loss, have the coaches or the players point out like similarities, things that were similar that caused you guys trouble?
I think the biggest thing was a turnover margin. That was the biggest thing that was said about the similarities. Like I said before, we don't really try to sit and talk about the previous games. Even when we were winning, we still didn't do that. We'll watch the film and we'll point out corrections, but other than that, it wouldn't really be too much of looking at the past.
What did they do that kind of caught you guys off guard? I understand they've been practicing a whole new defense since the summer that they only unveiled for the first time against you guys. Was that a surprise, and do you think you were prepared for that?
Yeah, I think that's something that we deal with a lot. Not just them. A lot of teams come out with a complete different package just to be able to deal with the different ways we can attack them. I think they had a great scheme. That's something that we didn't expect to see. We came out, we've been practicing against 4 down. We had a couple 3-down plays in, but that was just only for, special occasions. And for them to come out in like a 3-3-5, it kind of caught us off guard. Their players are pretty big, so they were able to fill gaps in the run game. Their linebackers were able to fill gaps. And they had a nickel that was able to play. He looked like the size of a DN. So they had a pretty good package. That was something that we didn't expect. I think we tried to adjust to it. We went into halftime. We made a few adjustments. Like I said before, we don't look too much on the pass. I don't feel like we lost. We just ran out of time.
Position specific, what are you guys trying to fix? I know you played 2 positions, but maybe the running backs first. What's been the message from Coach Tucker about things you can improve on, guys need to work on this week?
It's pretty much been the same thing all year. Just pass protection, making sure that we're able to stand tall with anybody that comes through. We take pride in not giving up sacks on our end, making sure that whoever we have to block, we handle pressing the line of scrimmage, doing the little things right. Once you take care of the small details, everything pretty much falls in place. And as far as the receiver room, it's always different ways that you can run a route, different ways you can get open, different techniques you can use. So I think that loss is something that's going to motivate us to find different ways to be able to get things done.
Talk about the pass protection, just in this game specifically. How did you think the guys did in that area? What you guys did in that area?
In the beginning, it was a little shaky, just because they came out of a different defense. So it pretty much threw off our blocking scheme. Once we went into halftime, we came back out. We made a few adjustments. I feel like we were able to corral it. It was just a little too late.
You're at the midway point of the season. You get a couple of losses. Is the bye week, does it come at a good time, and maybe just refocused and the new motivation? How hungry will this team be in the second half of the season, do you think?
I just caught the chills when you say how motivated are we going to be. I think we don't like losing. I think we got a team full of sore losers. I feel like that's the best way to have a team, honestly. You don't want to lose. You're going to do everything you can to win. This bye week came at a perfect time. We have people that are getting over nicks and bruises, so we're not killing each other in practice. We're just making sure we get all the mental things done. We got a physical aspect of it, but at the same time, this bye week came at a perfect time because this is what we needed. We needed to be able to get in each other's head and come together as a brotherhood.
Do you discuss the team goals? Do they change at all at this point?
Nah, the goal is always to win. That would be the goal forever and always. Just making sure you take care of your personal battle. If everybody wins their personal battle on each play, there's no way you can lose.
You talked about the goal is always to win, and Richie was in here and said the same thing. Those goals about like conference championship, New Year's Six, those are now out of your control basically. And those are really tough hills to climb to achieve those goals that you guys have done the last couple of years. Do you not think about that? You try to block that out and talk about that?
The more you think about it, the more anxious you get. So you try to stay away from that. You know it's in the back of your head. Everybody knows it's in the back of their head. Fans know, coaches know, players know. That's something that you can't hide. But at the same time, if you go into the next game thinking about the end of the season, you're gonna drop that game.
Gabe.
What'd you say?
Gabe Davis yesterday talked a lot about just kind of trying to avoid social media and stuff like that. I know you're active on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. After games like this, everyone has an opinion about the game and performance and whatnot. Do you look at that, or do you try to consciously not look at that?
I try not to look at it, but it's too hard to not see it. But like I said, fans are fans. Like, they're gonna love you when you're doing great, and you can have one mistake and it wipes it all away. So that's something that I know personally. A lot of players understand that. Like, I think it might have been like a fan that said something about Hescott. Like, we take it with a grain of salt. We laugh at it, we giggle, but at the same time we know that it's our job that we have to do. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
You had a nice moment in practice with Anthony getting on scholarship. How cool was that?
That was awesome. We came in at the same time. Just to watch him do everything he's done for this program, I felt like it should never go unnoticed. Every walk-on here, they work so hard. That's the reason why we're so good. They come, they're practicing, they're lifting before we get out of bed. They come to practice sore just to give us a good look. And for him to do that for 2 years, and this year for him to be able to start a couple games, that says a lot, because I know a lot of people, if you're not mentally tough, then that'll break you. And for him to be able to start against Stanford, and for him to get on scholarship now, I think that's just a testament of how hard work can pay off.
We got any plans for the bye weekend? You go back up to your home up north? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Jacksonville, check out my high school homecoming, and then hang out with my mom.
Thanks a lot, Otis.
Appreciate it, man.